Welcome to day 10 of our 10-day journey into beauty as a soulful language. Today is the conclusion of this 10-day journey. I'm so excited you're here, and my intention with this video is to hopefully illuminate and highlight the what may have been woven through your heart throughout this 10-part series. So today we are talking about the overall journey into beauty and how to integrate it and allow it to activate parts of you within yourself that are ready to come forward and ready to shine their light on the world and make a difference here on earth in the way that you were born to do. So we're going to dive right into all of it. I'm so excited for this episode. Because I'm going to share some of the things that came to me through this journey. I know that I was leading it through video, but I was going through it with you as well. And some beautiful things came out of it for me, and I hope it did for you as well. So the first thing I want to talk about is everything that you went through, or everything that came to you through each facet of beauty that we dove into in each video. Each of those things are reflections of yourself. Each of those things are your own inner beauty coming to you. So when you go throughout life from this point forward, I want your heart to hear this. Anything that you see and feel is beautiful is part of your soul speaking to you. It's part of your soul that maybe was lost within you, that this beauty you're seeing is pulling forward and reflecting back to you. So having that perspective and bringing that into your soul journey and your sight, the way that you see life, your outlook on life, it's a shift that I think will bring so much more to light in your own inner world in terms of how you're seeing beauty and knowing that beauty is within yourself as well. And it's that rediscovery of that beauty that calls you home to who you are and calls those lost pieces back home to you. So as you go through this and dive back through the different exercises we did in each video, or if you maybe rewatch the videos at any point, think about it in that way. All the things you wrote down are part of you. The things you created are part of you. All of the things that you create and express are part of the soul speaking to you. And it can also be part of the illusions or the masks you've put on over time speaking in order for your soul to emerge. So sometimes when we express different things, whether it be anger or something that we think is wanted or expected from someone else, yet it doesn't fully align with who you are and doesn't fully light you up, it could be showing you, the result of that is something to show you that it isn't in full alignment and that you are wearing a mask or seeing through or seeing an illusion rather than the truth of who you are. So as you look at the things that you experience in life and the things that you express and create from a day-to-day basis, think of that. Are you speaking from soul? Is it your soul speaking and creating through you? Or is it a healing process to create this thing you're creating in order for you to see the difference between soul and between a mask, or between soul and an outside expectation? That's something that really came strong to me through this, and I think through my whole draw to beauty in general. There's so many definitions of beauty. There's so many things that people think are beautiful. There's that quote, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Everyone thinks that different things are beautiful, which means everyone thinks that different things are ugly or weird or doesn't resonate with them in a certain way, and I think a lot of times judgment comes in because of those interesting discrepancies within the definition of beauty from person to person. And I think that is that judgment that comes in is the unaccepting of our own beauty. When we don't accept our own beauty, we're picking ourselves apart, and we are putting all these pressures on ourselves from what someone else's definition might be of beauty or success or whatever word you want to dive into, and rather than expressing from your own beauty, you're expressing from a place that you think people will think is beautiful, or you think will be accepted as beauty. So based on that outside expectation that you're perceiving. So in that way, we start to tear ourselves away from our own beauty, which then invites us to judge ourselves. If I can't share myself and my own beauty in this way because I think I can't, because everyone's going to think I'm weird or crazy or ugly or whatever it might be, then we're already placing that judgment on ourselves. So when we see this judgment from person to person at times, they're too fat or too skinny or too, man, look how they did their hair today, or, oh, man, they didn't put any makeup on, or whatever that dialogue might be, that judgment that comes in, it's because we're holding this big pressure on ourselves to fit this ideal outside expectation over our own soul beauty. And so that beauty within us is creating there's this friction within us, and when we feel that, it's kind of scary, it's fearful, and invites that judgment in. So that's something else to look at, is when you have the courage to dive into your inner world and discover your own beauty, your inner beauty, and allow that to shine regardless of what you think anyone's going to think of it. You step out of that place of judgment. You step into the place of soul purpose and of divine love, of deep love, of a motherly, nurturing love for yourself and for the world around you. And that frequency will be felt through everything you do. Just like what we talked about in our vibrancy video, I think it was video 6, we talked about that. What vibe you have, it's being felt throughout. And tuning into and surrounding yourself with the vibration and the frequency that you want to have come through you helps you do that. It helps you shine, helps your soul shine from within and your beauty shine from within. So I want to read something that I wrote in preparation for this video, for this concluding video, somewhat about that topic. And I feel that this is so powerful for us to embrace. So I'm going to read it now. What if all the things you didn't do, the words you didn't say, in fear of being weird, odd, or foolish, were really thresholds into your beauty? What if all the things you keep locked inside, hiding and caged from being seen, were really the keys to your unbound freedom? What if when you were the ones, I did not edit this. What if those words were the ones to set you free? Tell yourself, what words are masking your true beauty, keeping it left inside? What fears are the chains to your sacred light, keeping your dreams on the other side? Within your rising, you will see a fall of what keeps you broken and bound, a world within you emerging forth, the vibration of your beauty found. So as I wrote that, when that was expressing and coming through me, it just, and I feel like the frequency of it in this moment, reading it aloud too, I think so often we hide behind weird or foolish or odd or all of these things that we use those words. We say, oh, that's really weird, or that's odd, or oh, that's super imperfect. So we have that sense of if I share this part of me, it's a weird part of me. It's a weird. People are gonna think I'm strange. They're gonna think I'm weird. They're gonna think I'm different, and unacceptable, or they're going to think I'm inadequate, or they're going to think that I don't belong because I'm sharing this weirdness. And so as I wrote that, that was what was coming through to me, is I think a lot of times around true beauty, there's a weirdness. There's a weird element to true beauty. And anything that's weird is it's weird, quote unquote, because it's different. It's different than the norm. It's something that hasn't conformed. And so when you have that feeling of like, I want to do this, but people are going to think I'm weird. Or I want to do this because people are going to think I'm odd or strange, or you have that fear come in because of that feeling, you know, of they're going to think I'm weird. Restructure your mind to have a definition of weird as something that hasn't conformed to an outside expectation. And the result of that is a walking through of this threshold into your true beauty. So anything that you think might be weird or odd or strange or unaccepted or whatever comes to you, as long as you're coming from the heart and the soul, who cares if they think you're weird? Because being weird honestly should be the goal. Under that definition, being weird should be the goal, because that's where beauty comes in, is when we don't conform. When you don't conform to an outside expectation, to something that you think or perceive is expected of you, to measure yourself against this adequacy level that is a full illusion on our own part and enforced by our societies and our outside world. You have to break free from that. And as you break free from that, you free our society from that. You're part of society. You are part of society. So the changes you make within yourself will also be made in society, will also be made in the world around you. Again, inner world, what you do in your inner world is reflected in your outer world. So lean into the weirdness, lean into the odd, the strange, that fear that comes up of, oh, that's kind of out there, that might be a little weird, that might not be accepted, that's not adequate to what I think is expected of me. But you know within your heart that it is heart-centered, it brings love, it brings light, and it's part of your soul. Walk through the threshold, lean into it, be weird, step out of that conformity and into your true beauty. So those words, what are those masks? What are those words that we're masking our true beauty with? That weird, that oddness, that strangeness, that whatever word it might be that makes you pause or step back from sharing something, because it's a fear. It's a fear that comes up that we put that mask on. And weird is actually true beauty on the other side. So looking at that from that angle, that's something that my heart, my soul wants you to take from this, is you don't have to have your makeup on all the time. You don't have to have your hair done. I did not do my hair today. And it is the 10th video of this first series I've done. Like, all of these outside pressures tell you, look perfect, do your hair, do your makeup, be dressed to the nines when you're putting yourself out there. But guess what? No, it doesn't have to be perfect. It never has to be perfect. You don't have to fit into conformity and into someone else's definition. You need to show up as you and see that true beauty within yourself and allow it to emerge through you in everything you do, in all of your creative expression, in your soul journey, in the way that you nurture yourself, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with other people, with the earth, with the stars, with the spirit world, with anything you believe in, diving into that connection and bringing it from a place of true beauty, from a place that hasn't conformed, that is you, the true you. So that is the biggest takeaway I would love for you to have from all of this experience. I mentioned in the last video that you can feel free to do any sort of like creative expression through with all the assignments that we had for each video. And that can look like anything. That could be a drawing, it could be a painting, it could be a journal, it could be a small booklet, it could be a poster, it can be anything that you feel called to. You could, I don't know, write it on a whiteboard. You can do whatever feels good. You can maybe even paint it on to like an object of something that means something to you. So I did that. I took some time to do that for myself. And this is what I saw when I created, or when I pictured that coming together. So I'm going to show, I'll post this too so you can see a little closer. Ooh, it's backwards. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I wanted it to feel messy. I wanted it to feel like almost this chaotic beauty that was hidden within the overall picture. And it was so interesting. I got some new supplies, some art supplies, so I tried them out with this and it looked awesome. When I came in the next day, it was like shriveled up. I've never had this happen with watercolor. Well, I mean I have, but I was surprised how much it did that. I know there's ways to fix this, but it was really interesting and it actually made me really happy because this plays into that, to imperfection, to humility and imperfection. Beauty is imperfect to me. It's imperfect to me. There is an element of imperfection to beauty, and I think that I like this expressed unplanned in what I created. So kind of, if you can see this right here, this is backwards how it's recording. Okay, so this circle coming out into that. Okay, that is my longing section. So that's number 1, about longing. And then I'm just going to refer to my notes. So we had longing and then sacred union. You can see that here. And then I wrote about it here. And then I just felt this presence of a hummingbird and the nectar of a flower. That's what kind of came through within that sacred union feeling. The hummingbird is an animal totem for me. I have a lot of connection to hummingbird energy and many memories entwined throughout this lifetime around watching hummingbirds. So this hummingbird drinking from the nectar of a flower, it's that sacred union that the hummingbird also can spread that nectar and help kind of flowers continue to multiply and grow. So I love that. And the hummingbird, getting on a tiny tangent here, the hummingbird, their wings, they flap very rapidly. They actually flap or create an infinity sign when they flap. So I think that's really cool, bringing in that abundance and infinite love and beauty into this feeling that expressed through this rendition of what came through me. So we have Sacred Union, and then third we have Bloom, which is my flower here. And what I did was, so the assignment for Bloom was to list out all the things that you saw that were beautiful. You could do it for the day, you could do it for the hour, you could do it for the whole week, the whole 10 days, the whole month, whatever you wanted to do. So what I did was just wrote down in each petal the different things that I found beautiful in the bloom. And then going back to longing, the assignment for that was what do you long for? So just writing out what you longed for. I have mine there. And in this circle, kind of, I saw this like this circle, and then this extending out from the circle, like this shining of the light or the beauty. Sacred Union was a free write, so writing from the sacredness within. For me, that was all about self-love and honoring the sacredness within yourself by loving yourself. What came through that free write is that I'm not doing that. So making sure I do that to honor that sacredness within me. And then, so we did Bloom. Then we have Humility and Imperfection, which I have here under the flower in this V. So you were supposed to think of one thing that you don't do because of perfection. And what I wrote for me was doing video. So this is something that, again, I've mentioned many times, it's a huge fear I'm walking through, to be doing these videos. So that was mine. And then Vibrancy, we have over here, Vibe. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but there's the mother holding the baby. And the baby has like this I didn't plan, but the baby's eye looks like a globe. So that, just what do you find in the vibe of those you love? What do you find in your own vibe? What do you want to be found in your vibe? So I just kind of wrote that in that little, I'm not going to try this because it's mirroring me, so it looks that way to me, whatever, right here. The green to the blue. Okay, so that's my vibe, Vibrancy. And then Purposeful Ideal. So this was where we were supposed to write out our one-page utopia. So I took that one-page utopia and I kind of condensed it into this space right here. And I saw in my one-page utopia, I saw a waterfall. It was a magical waterfall. So that's this blue right here is that waterfall. Let's see, number 8 is harmony. What do you want your life experience to be in harmony with? And for that one, I kind of bordered my page with it because I want that to be more the all-encompassing of my life. And then what energy are you harmonizing with? For me, that was love, nurturing, and purpose. And then that's somewhere on here that I wrote down. And then connection was the last one. And all I did for that on here was I just wrote connection because that was a pretty multifaceted topic. We talked about connecting with yourself, creating sacred space. And then we talked about connecting with others, so acting on your promptings, sending messages or reaching out or doing something nice for someone. Whatever prompting comes up or that intuition that comes up, you bringing that forward. And then, so these are all action-based things. And then connecting with nature, so doing a nature walk or doing something in nature to make that connection. And that was our last video. So, leading us to video 10. So I encourage you, if you haven't yet, create something. It does not have to be like this. This is just what I saw when I thought about it. And I love how it turned out. And it's something that I want to have in my office near me, so that, because it represents so much. And seeing it all together, it really did call home a lot of the pieces of me. It called home a lot of the lost pieces of me. And it also it's significant. It's like my award or my trophy for walking through this fear with video and with doing this first segment, this 10-day part series, because I did it. video 10. And I'm excited to keep it going. So every time I look at this, I think I'll feel that motivation and have that to pull from, that inner beauty that I discovered through this process to pull from, to keep me sharing and leaning into imperfection, leaning into my weird, and just sharing in whatever way I'm feeling called to, and expressing and creating in any way I'm feeling called to. That's what that feels like to me as I created it. Just a nice representation of so many things. So I encourage you to do this. It can be, again, whatever you see in your mind. Just bring some creative expression to your journey. And whatever that looks like, that's what it needs to be for you. So I encourage you to do that if you haven't done it yet. And please share it with me. I'm going to post this. I'm going to post this on Instagram and Facebook. And go find this post and show me what you created in that post. Or you can send it to me directly if you don't want other people to see it. Okay, so that's that. I can't wait to see what you created with yours. And again, bringing out, knowing that this whole process is bringing out your own beauty. It's calling your own beauty forward. My own definition of beauty is anything that gives the soul language. It's anything that calls the soul forward. It's the portal to the soul. It's the opener of the heart that is the true portal to the soul. So with that, that's my definition, and you may have a completely different one, and that might be something you want to add to your takeaway from this, which I would love to hear your definition as well. So we're just going to briefly go through the 10 parts. I'm going to make this 5 more minutes so it's not too long. Okay, so day 1, intro to the intro video. What brings your soul voice forward? So as you're thinking through this, and if you don't want to go watch the videos again, I'm going to just round out all the assignments right here. So what brings your soul voice forward? Take a minute to write that down, whatever comes to mind instantly. For me, it was adventure and being with my family. Love, writing, singing, dance, beauty, and connection is what I wrote down. Number 2, longing. So this was the topic of longing. What do you long for is the question. So just take a minute to write down, what is it you're longing for? For me, that was seeing beauty all over the world with my family. It was also to remind people of their beauty and illuminate the brilliance within, and to connect to soul. Number 3, sacred union. This was our free writing, one of our free writings. So writing from a place of sacredness within. I already mentioned that this was all about self-love for me. So just take a minute. With free writing, you write whatever comes to your mind. So write from the sacredness within. Tap into that. Go to that sacred place, that inner temple, that inner beauty. Sit there for a moment and write from there, whatever comes through. Number 4, bloom. So make a list of all the beauty that you witness around you and within you. And then with all of these, since I wrote them all down in my journal, and before this video, I read them aloud to myself, and I could feel the frequency. I could feel this shifting of energy just in bringing that vibration, that sound to what I wrote. So I encourage you to do that as well. And I'm going to do that with this one, just in the sake of time. I don't want to read everything I wrote, but I'm going to do it with bloom. So I wrote down our angel tree blooming, Jagger helping Harlow, Harlow cuddling and hugging Jagger. So their sibling love really inspires me. A mom seeing her child after a trip. I was at the airport and saw that reunion. Someone moved to tears when someone else celebrated them. My ability to love and give love. My intuition and connection to guidance, being a mother. My ability to write, storytell, and songwrite. The way I use my words to heal. My compassionate heart, how I play and have fun. My courage, how I connect. So this is a really powerful exercise to do, to dive into the beauty of you and write down what you see, because we're so trained to not do that. We are trained to not talk nicely about ourselves, and that has to change. So start with this, write it down, and then say it aloud. Even if it's just with yourself, just say it aloud. You have to do it. You have to do it because it prunes out the things that are keeping you from your beauty, keeping you from blooming. Number 5, humility and imperfection. Think of one thing that you are not doing because of perfection, and just write it down. And if your soul calls you to do it, do it. Vibrancy, number 6. Tune into your vibe. What supports your highest vibe? What do you find in your vibe? And then I wrote, I want to give love and illumination. I feel I give compassion. And then the second to that was, what do you find in the vibes of those you love? And then write that down so it can be person and then vibe. Number 7, purposeful ideal. Write a 1-page of your utopia. What does your utopia look like? What is heaven on earth to you? Just write 1 page of what that looks like or feels like. And then second to that was get in a state of play. For me, that was dancing and singing with my kids, and then we were just in the fullness of excitement as we danced. So that was for me. So take a moment to do that, to get into play. Number 8 is harmony. What do you want your life experience to be harmonizing with? For me, that is my soul purpose, illuminating brilliance and beauty, anchoring divine love to earth, activating ascension, being a nurturer and a mother, and love. And then what energy are you harmonizing with? And for me, that was love, nurturing, and purpose. So those are the 2 for exercise 8. Exercise 9 is connect with yourself, creating sacred space, and then connection with others, acting on promptings and intuition, and connection with nature. So connecting with nature in whatever way you can or feel called to. So those are the assignments. You can just write them out in your journal so you have them going forward to refer back to. So this episode, I will leave you with a parting assignment, and that assignment is to do your creative expression of beauty, of this journey. What is your creative expression of this journey? And share it with me, please, in some way. If you want to message me privately, and if you're following me on Instagram, I'm at Whitney Jensen with EN. Facebook, I'm Whitney Lee Jensen, or you can, whatever you want to do. My email is everywhere. You can email it to me, you can direct message me, or you can post it here in the post I do with that one. So thank you so much from my heart, my soul, for joining me through this journey. I am honored to have had you be here with me as I've stepped through this fear and taken on this courage. It feels really good. So I appreciate you being here, for holding this space for me, and I hope and pray that you join for the other videos I do here on this channel. My goal going forward is to do 1 video per week, and we'll just be talking about many different topics. Again, the intention of this space, of my whole online home, is to provide a home for your sacred journey to the soul and to who you are. So please always come here to feel at home here along that journey. Thank you for joining me. I am sending love and the spirit of Namaste to you. Thank you.